Many people have been involved in bringing this together. In particular, I want to thank Dr. Andy Schmidt from the University of Sydney and Chloe Wine from Liberator. They're both supremely competent when it comes to technology, and they've done an enormous amount of work in recent weeks sorting out the back end of this event, setting up links for information about each session, managing the registrations, fielding all the questions that have come in about the seminar, the technology, and many other things, and they've just been outstanding. So I need to add at this point, if you need any sort of support with the technology during the day, and let's all just pray that it all holds together. With 600 people, we couldn't actually gather enough people to test this properly, so we're just trusting that it will all be fabulous. But if you have any problems with technology through the day, there will be a tech support person in each stream. They've named themselves that. You can send them a direct message and they'll sort out your problems. I also want to thank the more than 20 people who will be involved with presenting sessions throughout the day and also facilitating the sessions that are in conversation. And I want to thank the other people who will be chairing the session streams and keeping the sessions to time. You'll see that we've got a pretty tight schedule, and it's very important we stick to time, particularly because there'll be people who want to move from one stream to another during the day. So we're going to make sure that every session starts exactly on time, not before and not after. Okay. As human beings, communication is the most important thing we do. People with complex communication needs, or people with little or no speech, are often left without a voice. Not being able to communicate easily, effectively, about anything you want, with anyone you want to, and as comprehensively as you need to, is disempowering. It means that those people without an effective means of communication don't get a full say in their life. They're not able to be full participants in the many activities that we all take for granted. You may be aware that, that October is AAC Awareness Month. For those that don't know, AAC stands for Augmentative and Alternative Communication. I know this is jargon, so what does it mean? Augmentative communication means the strategies that people might use to add to or supplement the speech that they have. And alternative communication refers to strategies that might be used when someone has no functional speech and has to rely on another means of communication to get their message across. So AAC encompasses the range of tools and strategies that support the communication of people of all ages who have little or no speech. When we think about AAC, there are two main options available. The strategies that rely on some sort of aid or device to support communication, or strategies that rely on our body, such as natural gesture and the use of manual signs. Keyword sign is one of those AAC strategies, and that's the one we're here for today. Keyword sign is used in many countries around the world. It often goes under different names. Keyword sign is called Makaton in the UK, and Makaton is also used in a number of other countries around the world, including New Zealand. Whatever the name, it's the same strategy of adding the signs for the keywords we say as we speak. Some of you may remember when keyword sign was called Makaton in Australia. Makaton Australia changed to Keyword Sign Australia in 2010. In Ireland, it's called LAM. In England, there's another version of keyword sign called Sign Along. In Belgium, a similar system is used. It's called something I can't pronounce. And in Singapore, there's an organisation called Minds that is currently establishing the use of keyword sign with Singaporean signs. And I see we've got Eva here today, who's from Minds. Hi, Eva. So keyword sign is a worldwide thing. In fact, one of the papers that will be presented this morning talks about the reintroduction of keyword sign in the US. And I'll talk about some of the other papers later in this talk. The other thing that's important to remember is that wherever keyword sign is used, it's always using signs from the deaf community in that particular country. So keyword sign will look quite different from one country to another because the source of the signs are different. Keyword Sign Awareness Day was established with the intention of growing the awareness of keyword sign, and it's been going for a number of years now. It's on the 10th of the 10th because of our 10 fingers that are so good to sign with. Some of you might have been involved with last year's Awareness Day celebration, where we did a community sing-along of I Am Australian. We know that the online keyword sign community has been rocketing in the last couple of years. There's clearly a strong need for information and ideas for how keyword sign can be used across different settings: home, school, work, and community places. So this year, to celebrate Keyword Sign Awareness Day, we decided to offer a free seminar. We wanted to further raise the awareness of keyword sign, and we wanted to provide sessions with more information as well as practical tips and ideas for people who are using it. The keyword sign community is made up of a broad range of people, including parents and family members, teachers, allied health professionals, university and TAFE students, support workers, people who are trained as keyword sign presenters, and probably others that I haven't named. And we wanted to provide something for everyone. So when we sat down to plan this seminar, we thought about what would be both interesting and useful to people. The seminar is made up of 3 streams, and it was important to us that one of those streams has a focus on research. There's a lot of research and information available for the range of what we call aided AAC tools, such as communication books, boards, app for tablets, speech generating devices. And there's also research about how people who use communication aids learn the various systems and use them to interact with their communication partners. But there's far less evidence-based information on the use of manual signing or keyword sign as a communication support tool. We need to have keyword sign as visible and accessible as aided AAC tools and strategies for all the people who can benefit from it. We know there's far less academic papers on keyword sign in journal publications and far fewer presentations on keyword sign at conferences that focus on tools for people with little or no speech. Research is important. We look to the evidence base to tell us what works and how it works the best. And this informs intervention from speech pathologists, teachers, and other communication partners. We know from experience that keyword sign can be an effective strategy for supporting the communication of those people who have little or no speech. But we also know how important it is that keyword sign has a strong evidence base to support its use. So we've created a stream that gives a taste of the current research that's going on in the field. While not everyone will be here for the research sessions, it is important this information is talked about, recorded, and gets out there. Today, we've been able to bring together some of the people currently involved in research. We're delighted to have Krista McMorran-Mouse speak from the US about the reintroduction of keyword sign in that country. It's also wonderful that we'll be hearing from 2 occupational therapy students who are researching the motor components of using sign. This is an important area, and there's currently little formal analysis of sign production. Amy Hill's session will be about developing a framework for analysing what's involved in producing a sign. And Natalie Despois will talk about the experiences of parents and caregivers in learning, remembering, and producing signs. Olivia Scala will talk about her research from last year, 2020, with siblings of children who use keyword sign. Again, this is an important topic and one where there's been little formal investigation or published literature. Dr. Leah Dark will present, on behalf of her co-researchers, the work they did on investigating how speech-language pathologists use keyword sign in their therapy sessions with people with communication support needs and the people in their world. Anita Wen will be talking about her work investigating speech pathologists' knowledge and experience of introducing and implementing keyword sign. And Leah will present a second session in the research stream about her lived experience of using keyword sign with her daughter and how she applied the evidence of keyword sign from an academic perspective. Dr. Andy Schmidt, who's been absolutely crucial in the planning and preparation of this seminar, will talk to us about where keyword sign sits in the world of augmentative and alternative communication. So the research stream is full and exciting, and that doesn't even talk about our keynote speaker, Dr. Nicola Grove. We're absolutely delighted to have Nicola here today from the UK, where it's quite late at night. She is one of the keyword sign elders in the world and a strong advocate for the use of keyword sign. She was one of the people doing the earliest research in the field, and you'll hear more about Nicola when we introduce her shortly. So if I go back to thinking about what else we wanted to include in today's seminar, we also needed sessions with a practical focus. For many people who don't have an academic background or an interest in research, like parents, family members, other allied health professionals, support workers, students, we wanted to provide something for people who are teaching and using signs on a daily basis. So I'm particularly happy that we've been able to bring together 4 parents in conversation who have the lived experience of using keyword sign on a daily basis and over many years. This is the session that goes across all the streams just before lunch. It's not easy for a parent to learn that their child has difficulties with communication and they have to learn about all these AAC things. It can help to hear of other people's journeys, successes, and how they manage the challenges. So I'm delighted that we've got these people coming to talk with us today. Of particular interest to me is hearing about how their use of keyword sign has changed over the years as their children have grown older and their communication needs have evolved. Aided strategies are often introduced alongside keyword sign for young children, and that can be another layer of difficulty for parents. There's many things they have to learn about, and there's many things they have to juggle. We know that people need access to a range of communication means, not just one, and that communication boards, books, or high-tech devices can be used alongside keyword sign, but how do you manage that? There's a lot of other practical topics in the other 2 streams. An important area that we must think about is Auslan as the source of the signs that we use. We've got a session with Janine Hall and Kathy Pryor that looks at the difference between keyword sign and Auslan. It will address how to find new signs and how to choose the most appropriate sign from the range of options. We also need to think about sign modifications. Kerry Revell will show us how we can add more information to how we use sign by incorporating more elements from Auslan. And we need to produce signs as accurately as possible to be good models for the people that need to use it. Kathy Pryor will be doing a session on sign production based on Holm, and she'll tell you what that is, and how to use this to structure the teaching of signs. We all know how to use natural gesture, and we use it instinctively in our everyday communication. We also use it more consciously when we're far away from people or in a noisy environment. Incorporating natural gesture is an integral aspect of using keyword sign, and Kathy Basterfield will be presenting on this topic. These sessions I've just talked about cover the areas of sourcing sign from Auslan, teaching signs for greater accuracy, incorporating natural gesture, and adding more information by modifying the signs that we use. We also need to remember there are many adults with a communication disability who have learned keyword sign or Makaton, when they were children at school. They still remember many signs, but often their communication partners don't know them. Ashley Harley will present a session on teaching keyword sign to support workers of adults, and talk about how she tailors a workshop to this specific group. The other area of real importance is how we go about establishing a signing environment. We know the importance of having signs used consistently with and around people who need it. This can often be difficult to do, especially in a school environment where there are many things that teachers need to juggle and be on top of. So we're excited to be hearing from staff at 2 schools who have established keyword sign as an important part of their school environment. Sarah Hannah will be facilitating a conversation with Claire from the Nepean School in Victoria and Jen from Kalamunda School in WA. Both these schools have tackled the challenge of incorporating keyword sign into the curriculum and the school environment. One of the best things about keyword sign is that it's fun, and it's important that we keep it fun. Signing choirs are a great way to introduce and establish keyword sign with a group of people. Learning new signs, getting together with some music and having fun. Tina Caithness will be talking with Ruth Rogers and Tracy Richards about the joys and benefits of signing choirs. Books, songs and play activities provide other great opportunities to use keyword sign. Harmony Turnbull will be talking about some strategies for planning and feeling comfortable signing while reading books or playing. And if you want to learn to sign while reading a book, go to the session with Emily Fernandez on keyword sign with Going on a Bear Hunt, and Stephanie Weir's session on signs for Where Spot. You can also learn to sing I Still Call Australia Home with Tracy Richards. Keyword Sign Australia has come a long way since it began under the name of Makaton in the 1980s, and we're excited about the future. Later in the day, I'll be talking about what Keyword Sign Australia has been working on and what's coming up, and I want to hear from you. We really need your input. So stick around for the rest of the day. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. A couple of other housekeeping points. You've all had access to the program, and hopefully you've all got the links at your fingertips. You can also go to the bit.ly or the program link to see all the session links. So you can make decisions about which sessions you want to attend. We will be recording all sessions, so anything you miss will be available afterwards. And again, remember there's a tech support person in every session. You can send them a direct message if you're having problems. Okay, we've got a few minutes before it's time for our keynote. So we'll have a brief break, run to the toilet, get a cuppa, and come back right on 9 o'clock, and we'll be starting with Nicola Grove.